Hey everybody, it's Bob Nagin, and in today's episode of Real Retail TV, we're going to explore an important way of looking at your business. So the important way that I'm talking about is the distinction between the front of the house and the back of the house. And I call it that because for 12 years I worked in the restaurant business. And in the restaurant, it's a term commonly used in the restaurant business. The front of the house is where you, the customer, goes and sits. It's the ambiance. It's the quality of the server. It's what the customer experiences. And the back of the house is where everything else happens. The back of the house is where the food gets ordered, where the food gets cooked, the cleanliness of the restaurant. And as it seems self-evident, but the importance of the back of the house cannot be overestimated. The back of the house, the quality of the back of the house has a direct impact on the quality of the front of the house. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and you're really looking forward to their favorite dish and you go, I'd really love the blank, and the waiter or waitress looks at you and says, oh, I'm sorry, we're out? That is usually due to a failure of someone in the back of the house. Somebody didn't order the food. Or if the food comes out poorly, it's because somebody in the back of the house, the cook, didn't do the right job. And so I find that distinction really, really important in retail also. Your customer comes into the front of the house, and what they see and the experience they get is really important. You know, is your store clean? Is your staff trained? Does your staff smell? You know, all of these things have a direct effect on your customer's experience. Why? Because they see it. And even if they don't see it, they feel it, right? Cleanliness is something that people don't notice, but they feel. My good friend Bill Koski, who is a lifelong restaurateur, we were having a conversation about a restaurant. He just said, you know, Bob, you can feel when a restaurant is clean. The moment you walk in, you can feel that. Isn't it true in a retail store too? You walk in and you feel competence. And so this feeling that your customers get when they come into your store is the front of the house experience. But I want to look at you and suggest that building your back of the house correctly it is so important to the success of your front of your house. So what are the things that go into the back of the house? They are things like ordering, inventory management. Do you have bestsellers in stock at all times? If you sell clothing, do you have sizes or are there big gaps? Are your people trained? Do they know what to do? Or do you just have warm bodies out on the floor? All of the things that go into the customer experience are the back of the house skills. And here's what I know. You know, like for 19 years, I owned my own retail business. And for 21 years, Susan and I have been, doing whiz-bang retail training. So I have been a retailer for a long time, and I have watched a lot of retailers in action. And what I see far too often is retailers, independent brick and mortar retailers, focusing on the front of the house to the exclusion of the back of the house. And I know that because that was my story for a long time. I kind of felt like any sin, any problem could be overcome by more sales. And what I learned the hard way is it just isn't true. There is this set of skills. In the Retail Mastery System, we feature 11 critical retail skills. And not all of them are front of the house. In fact, most of them are back of the house. And then there's also structure, isn't there? Do your people know what they're supposed to do? Do you have a retail accountability blueprint in place in your store so everybody knows what their jobs are so they can go out and do them efficiently, so they can be effective? Do you have training programs that let people know what's expected of them? Nothing frustrates a great person with a lot of potential more than coming into a chaotic business. And a chaotic business is always chaotic in the back of the house. A lot of sins in a business can be covered up for a while in the front of the house, by giving a great first experience. The Mackinac Kite Company. Our store was a wreck. We were always out of stock, but Brother Steve and I gave our customers such a great experience. We were so much fun and we did such cool, interesting things that people forgave us for a long time. But it caught up with us. And even though our business grew every single year, and even though we had a great reputation on the street, we weren't what we could and should have been. And it wasn't until we started to get really, really serious about building out those back of the house processes, procedures, skills, and structures that our business really went to the next level. And that's why I really want to, I want to encourage you to sign up this coming Wednesday, April 21 at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a webinar called How to Run a Business That Doesn't Run You. And you're going to learn these back of the house skills, procedures, processes, structures that make all of the difference. So if you're feeling frazzled and frustrated and overwhelmed right now, it's because you don't have that back of the house stuff in order. And it really is about understanding what to do, understanding how it should be, and then doing the work to put those processes into place. And in an hour, we're not going to be able to give you everything you need to go out and make the back of the house in your store something amazing. But I can tell you that you will leave with a really good roadmap. You will leave understanding what you need to do to get control of your business, to put the processes, the procedures, the structures into place so that you can have a business that you run, not a business that runs you. So again, the front of the house is fun, it's interesting, it's exciting, but the back of the house is where you make the money, where you put together the kind of business that allows you to take long vacations, that really diminishes your stress, that gives your people the freedom they need to really do the job they need to do to give your customers the service they deserve. So I hope that distinction sticks with you. I hope that it gives you something to think about. I hope that when you look at your business right now, you'll look at it in a new way. And most importantly, I hope to see you on Wednesday. I'm Bob Nagin. We'll see you next week.